Yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week, but glad that we can put that one behind us somewhat. I really had to fight yesterday for joy. Um, it wasn't. I don't like feeling that way. Certainly, and most of our players concur. So, we've let two games slide that we could have won. It's hard to win. I've said that. I think we lead the nation in one possession games decided by one possession, and I think we're 3-3 in those, and those three sting when you don't get it done. And there's a myriad of reasons why, but at the end of the day, it still doesn't make you feel any better. And proud of the way our kids responded today, and in our meeting times, and the walkthrough on the field. And I think Coach Dom says their attitude's been good, and I think they'll respond the right way, even though that was extremely disappointing. And watched the film over a couple times, and you take the fake field goal that resulted in not 3 points but 7, and then the 12 men on the field resulted in 7 and not 3, and that's 14 to 6 swing, so 8 points. And those two things combined with our inconsistency on offense and the 2 turnovers, particularly the one when we're driving already almost in field goal range and fumble. And that's you can't make those mistakes and win a close game, and we did, and we haven't done that most of the year. And so that's where the truth lies. And so it's frustrating, but I was really happy to put it in the trash this morning and challenge our kids to let's finish strong and win 9 games in the regular season, which I think is an incredible accomplishment with the schedule we had and the injuries we faced. And excited to see how they respond this week, particularly with it being number one Thanksgiving week. We have so much to be thankful here on the mountain, and the many blessings we all have, and that we hope to share. Every position room adopts a family that is less fortunate, and we'll get to deliver those things tomorrow and Wednesday. That'll be exciting. And then obviously we have our Thanksgiving meal together Thursday after practice, and then into the game week where we get to honor Military Appreciation Day. Hopefully one of the traits that's developed within our program is an appreciation and honor and respect for those that serve our country and provide us protection and freedom, and those in the past and in the present and in the future that will do that. So it's an honor to honor them. And then obviously the 20 or so seniors that we have walking Saturday, it will be really bittersweet because some of those were here when I arrived and helped us take this thing from FCS to 4 straight bowl games and a lot of great wins and a lot of great close losses. Who would have thought we would have been playing ACC teams as well as we were in year 4 or 3 or 2, whatever it's been. And the credit goes to those guys that decided they wanted to be the core and leadership of this team and demand that we chase a certain standard. And I'm going to have to say goodbye to a lot of those guys this Saturday, and that would be extremely sad. And hopefully everyone's on the same page of how they deserve to be sent out.
With this being year 4 for you and getting to know the senior class a little bit better, is it a little bit more emotional than your first 3 where your first one you barely got a chance to know them over a year to now get this?
Yeah, of course. You spend as much time as we do together, and we try to run this as a family, really. And I take pride in the relationships I have with our players, and over a 4-year span as opposed to year 1 or year 2. There's going to be some emotional goodbyes, and not goodbyes yet, but it's the last game some of them are going to play for you in Williams Stadium anyway, and we'll get to enjoy a bowl game. But it's certainly it'll be some emotion involved, I'm sure, for them and for me.
Coach, you and your team start off 8-1. We're kind of the toast of the town, beating BYU and Arkansas, 2 of the best wins in school history, and then you fast forward 2 weeks and
Yeah.
seen things have kind of flipped and coming off two disappointing losses. You've been around coaching a long time. How do you kind of process, how quickly things can change
Yeah.
in that criticism?
Well, I told our team this morning. I said, let me take you back, and I went through the ending of the BYU game and the field celebration, and then the ending of the Arkansas game, and obviously they're a really good team, and to win in Razorback Stadium was pretty dang special, and all the pictures that were taken, and man, so from that point, after that game to the point we stand today, what is the difference? We've got to acknowledge what the difference is. What is the truth of it? And is it that we just didn't play well enough in critical moments, or the turnovers, or the penalties, or we didn't stop the run at UConn, had a lot of injuries? But is it as simple as that? That's the question I think a coach has to answer, because I go through it all in my mind, because nobody hurts or feels the sting more than I. And or wants the responsibility more than I. And so is it that simple, or is there something else? Are we unmotivated? We're the toast of the town, and I've said before, you have to handle successes and failures equally the same. They both can be your enemy. And I said we got to find out. If it's as simple as then we got to go to work and go to practice and let's play better Saturday. But if there's something else that is causing us to be undermotivated or less passionate about competing for 60 minutes, then we've got to address that. And so the Culture Council did a great job of expressing that to the team after I left the room, and I think we're in a good spot of understanding kind of where we are, and hopefully, look, to win 9 games, there's a lot of people that just look around college football every Saturday. I mean, I'm sure Florida didn't expect to get beat by Vandy, or Tennessee to South Carolina, or I bet you there's 10 others we could go find. I knew Virginia Tech could beat us. They have a Power 5 defensive line, and they've had like 5 games decided by one possession, and and their defense just hadn't given up much. Sort of like the Aggies this week. Their defense ain't giving up 340 yards a game. They're really good on defense. But so anyway, it can happen, but we've got to understand why it happened, and we got to look at ourselves as coaches and say, should I have called different things? Did we not call enough of the right thing? And then why are we not executing when we really have to? And so we addressed all that this morning, put it behind us, and hopefully are ready to have a great week and get win number 9 and send these seniors out with a victory.
Demario brought this up Saturday, is he doesn't want to end the season on a 3-game losing streak like last year. Is that part of a motivating factor of, man, we don't want to go with last year?
Well, I hope so. I don't want them thinking about last year. I just want them think about preparing for this game and making sure that if there is anything that's external that's keeping you from being your best, we've got to deal with that. And that's the world we live in today in this college football. Now, there's a lot of junk around our players, and you've got to hit it head on and be very transparent, authentic with them. But I think, again, our team will respond the right way.
Have you had much interaction with Jerry Kill before?
Yeah, I actually love Jerry. Not a ton. We were on 2 Nike trips together. I really like the guy. I think he's a hard-nosed, old-school football coach, and you see it in his team. I mean, his defense is playing lights out, and offensively they're probably not where he wants them to be, but they are very smart, and they're just not going to let you create any negative plays. They're just going to move the pocket, throw quick game, try to run the football and punt and then play defense if that's the way it works out. And they're okay with that, and they're playing to their strengths. It's a personality of the Jerry Kill that I've gotten to know, and obviously we were in Conference USA meetings together this past spring and got to just kind of reunite and think a lot of him. He does it the right way, too, and he's for the kids, and he's a great ambassador for college football.
Is it unique that you got to play, your first year here, you got to play New Mexico State twice in that 1 year, and now back to playing them now
And in the future for in the conference, yeah, I hadn't forgotten that. But we played home and away. That was new to me. I'd never experienced that before. But you know, they're going to be a permanent fixture on our schedule for sure.
I want to ask you about Michael Bollinger, a guy that's been here for all 4 years.
Yeah.
And that guy he was playing really well before he broke his leg there 2019, and he's seemed to evolve with Coach K coming in and needing more of a fullback guy in there with how they block and how he runs tight ends. And what can you say about a guy who is a Swiss Army knife and tries to do everything the right way?
Well, he's been valuable to us. I mean, and it was an honor to put him on scholarship, and we've used him in a lot of different roles, and he's been a steady voice in the locker room and a guy that promotes the culture and standard that you want for your team, and people follow that. And just thrilled that he's had the career he's had, and hopefully he has a good game Saturday.
One thing that's kind of gotten buried these last 2 weeks with the losses is the play of Nick Brown. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
half of the year he's really struggled a lot. I think he's made 6 in a row now.
Yeah, I'm confident as I've ever been here with probably anywhere. I think he's swinging it really confidently and smooth right now, and has good height and distance, and I feel really, really comfortable calling for the field goal unit.
What do you want to see out of the quarterbacks this week?
Well, we got to decide on one, and we're gonna have to play one, and then if something happens and he doesn't play well, we'll obviously have to go another direction. But I don't want to approach practice like that. I won't. We got to decide on one, and we plan to do that by the end of Tuesday, and go with that one.
Is Charlie involved?
Yeah, all three are an option.
Okay. How's his hand doing? I know that's been something that
Yeah.
you've been concerned about the last 2 weeks.
Well, I hadn't. They threw today, and I hadn't. We got a meeting at 1, and I'll get the report from that.
How do you think Mike Smith did in his game back?
Solid. Missed a few more tackles than is normal. I think we had another safety if he finishes that off. But no, played really solid. It was good to have him back for sure.
You've had some All-Americans during your time coaching. Do you think Darrell Johnson's, the way he's played this year, is on that?
Well, I mean, he leads the nation in tackles for loss, and I think he ought to be on. I don't know how many different All-American teams there are, and it's certainly hard to compare with so many different conferences and Power 5, G5, all of that. Is there a G5 All-American team? Or he ought to be on some I don't know. How many teams are there? First, second, third? He ought to be on one of those.